Hello. Welcome to Back to School Night or YouTube. I apologize for not being here with you in person for Back to School Night. We had a family trip planned before this was on the calendar for this weekend, but I do not want you missing out on any of the information. So I made this video for you. At the end of the video, if you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. So let's just get started. Welcome to Physics 1300, or as I refer to it as on-level physics. I'm the AP Physics and one of the on-level physics teachers at the Village School. My name is Miss Amanda Galbencia. I'm excited to share what this course is about with you and how your students are going to succeed. Before we do that, I want to talk to you about my teaching philosophy. Physics is a very complicated subject and it can be very, very challenging. I, however, really truly believe that every person can learn physics. It just takes some students a little longer, and some students need a little more support than others in different ways. My promise and my goal to you is, and to your students, and my job is to figure out where your students are and help to meet them halfway. Um, their job pause. Their job is to engage with class, ask questions in a timely manner, and advocate for themselves. It is really important that they keep an open line of communication with both you and me during the course so that if there are any struggles that appear, we hit those head on and they don't build. Struggles can snowball in physics very easily because the curriculum snowballs. All right, so course overview. This is a high school level algebra-based physics course. We focus on conceptual understanding and problem solving strategies. We do a lot of inquiry-based labs, meaning here's some equipment, here's a general objective, have some fun with it, because the majority of physics is learned by playing with objects. So we do a lot of inquiry-based labs and a lot of collaboration. My class expectations are that it is a professional learning environment. We practice daily, we participate daily, we ask questions daily, try to stay on task, always do all of your assignments prior to class so that you're never behind and you can fully enjoy what we are doing during our lecture time. We have a very respectful and a very safe and hopefully a very engaged classroom. I do my best to make this as fun as possible. Physics is truly one of the things that I enjoy talking about, and I hope that by the end of the semester, your kids are as excited about it as I am. So, part of what makes a student successful is that they read on their own. The more voices they hear physics concepts in, the better their understanding will be. So, to supplement our in-class instruction, I assign readings from the textbook. Our textbook is a free textbook through OpenStax by Rice University. You can get to it by clicking any of the links in Canvas. The chapters are hyperlinked in our modules, so the students don't have to go out of their way to find the chapters. I also have the PDF of the book available if you would like it. I can set it up for download. But it is all of the resources are available through that website, which can be found in our Canvas modules. I assign readings daily every time I see them. The students are required to read through the chapter, take their notes, write down any questions they may have, and then they can bring their notes to class to annotate during lecture time. In addition, I do what's called reading check quizzes. They're not actually quizzes, they are formative checks to be sure that they're doing their readings and understanding. And they're allowed to use their notes on those checks. So as long as they're keeping up with reading the textbook, they should be able to do well on those quick formative checks. It is a digital textbook. If you would like a hard copy, I do believe you can order one through OpenStax. I do know, however, they are about this big and it's not necessary. All right, late work policy is the same all the way across the village, but there is a minor change with physics. We do not take off a total of 30% immediately, we're going to take off 10% per day, roughly, until 3 days. So if a student doesn't turn in their work on the first day, they can still get 90% of the credit. The second day, 80%. But on the third day, that's when they can only get 70% of the credit and the assignment closes. Any homework turned in after the 72-hour deadline is scored as a zero or not turned in at all. Where we actually Canvas closes and it doesn't allow them to turn in any work after 72 hours. There is always exceptions for illness or school trips, and we follow the village school policies for those. If a student would like to get an exception or an exemption to that penalty, then they should follow the standard procedure for every class in turning in their homework as is before the due date and putting in a Canvas message request for an extension waiver. If you have any questions about turning in late work, always reach out to me. And I will say, as far as reaching out, Canvas is the best way to get me emails. Go to junk folders sometimes. And at the beginning of the year, we're still trying to dig through our junk mail and find all of these parent emails. And it is awful when we miss them. So, Canvas, if you don't hear from me within about 24 hours, send a Canvas message. Tell the students the same thing. Late work, send the messages through Canvas, please. Our grading breakdown. In science, we do our summative assessments. Those are our projects on our exams. Those are a 40% of our full grade. Our practical work, which is our labs, that's a 25%. Formative assessments, those are our homeworks, our warm-ups, our activities. Those are 15%. And then at the end of every semester, there will be a cumulative exam worth 20% of their grade. Here is a list of our units for study. You'll see that we've broken down the course into a fall semester, which is mechanics based, and then our spring semester, which is E&M, optics, and modern. At the very end, we have electrical circuits and magnetisms, and those are my favorites. And so we're really hoping to get there, but they are based on how much time we end up having in the course. We do throw projects in here and there throughout the course this semester, and though more information will come out about that as we go. But one of the projects to look forward to, we're going to be building catapults very soon for a catapult canvas competition. And in the spring, we will hopefully be doing an electric circuit project. So pay attention for all that to come. That's some of the most fun parts of physics. Hands-on labs, 25% of our instructional time is going to be labs or inquiry or activity. The way a normal class day will go for us is we will have a little bit of lecture, we'll have some practice time. I tend to do the I do, you do, or I do, we do, you do method. So I like to do the problem myself, then we do it all together and talk about it, and then I send them with their own practice to try it on their own. So 25% of our class time is not actually instructional time. It's labs, it's practicing, it's collaborating. Your students are required to maintain a notebook for this class. It can be a spiral or a binder. No, real specific um, requirement there. They just need to be able to keep all of their physics in one space. Last, I've got some supports and resources for you in case you feel like you want to help your student more. The Physics Classroom is one of my favorite FIGS physics websites for on-level physics. There are games, simulations, and full lessons. So if a student is struggling with a topic, often recommend that they come to me first and ask questions. But if it's not working, try the Physics Classroom. It is built to be done by the students at home. It's very, very handy. In addition, there is Khan Academy videos. It's not always aligned perfectly, um, but you can always reach out to me by request and I can help you find what you're needing. And then we have that lab simulations, and they're just fun simulations where they can see the physics happening. My office hours are 7:30 in the morning to 8:30 in the morning and 3:30 after school to 4. Except for Wednesdays. Additionally, I do have time around 11 a.m. every day for either student tutorials, which I call lunch and learn. We eat together and we learn, or parent phone calls. If you need to speak, I try to do my parent teacher phone calls around 11 a.m. So, our keys to success for this class, we're going to practice daily. We're going to ask our questions early and often. We will keep up with our readings, annotate and summarize our notes before every assessment, and use the resources and the office hours. Lastly, a private tutor can make a huge difference in a student's ability to understand complex topics like physics. By no means is it a mandatory requirement for you to get an external tutor. I don't believe your student will need it, but I would be remiss in my job if I did not give you all of my resources. World's Finest Physics is an AP Physics teacher um, in the state of Texas who links physics teachers with physics students online for tutoring. I fully trust this website because of the fact that they are linked with teachers. I typically recommend this more for my AP Physics students, but the AP Physics teachers will tutor any level of physics. They are very reasonably priced, and so I'm going to give you that resource in case you need it, but I hope you don't. And that's the end of my presentation and my video. And again, I apologize for not being with you in person. I hope we do get to meet face to face before the end of the school year. I've had a great time getting to know your students. I've had a really good time teaching this course. It's my first time teaching this course here at the Village. I used to teach it out in Katy ISD. I hope the kids are having a good time. And if you need me, please feel free to reach out. And again, if you send an email and you don't hear from me within 24 to 48 hours, try sending me a Canvas message. Let's see if that goes through. And as always, you can reach out to the administrators at the Village School. They can help get your email to me if for some reason it's not coming through my system. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Let me know if you have any questions in the future and have a safe trip home.